Hey Thinksters, and welcome to this quick video where I want to show you the most Pythonic way to convert a list of tuples to a string. Okay, so say you have the following list of tuples here with three tuple elements. The first tuple element is 1, 1, 1. Then we have 2 and 1 and 4 and 2. So we have three tuples, and now we want to print this list or convert it to a string for further processing. So what options do we have? And basically there are three methods. I will just go over the methods, explain them, and that's it. So say you are happy with the default conversion method, then you can of course always print, so convert it to a string. Okay, so you can use the string function on the list argument to convert it, to use the Python's default conversion method. And if you do this, then you get a string representation. So this is of type string of the list of tuples, and you see it's a bit different than the one I have defined here, because it uses a white space, which is like good Python practice to use a white space between two tuple elements. Okay, so but this is like a string canonical string representation of the Python list of tuples. But what if you aren't happy with this? So say you if you want to customize the delimiter string, for example, delimiter means this thing or that thing, or you don't want to have this bracket notation. So how do you customize this default string conversion method, so converting the list of tuples to a string? And the second method is to use the join or the map function. So you also have the print function, and now you use so for example, you can use a delimiter string 2 minuses, and you call join on map string and the list. So I'll explain it in a moment. Okay, so now we have very concise one-liner, and what do? We basically have we use the string minus minus, which is the delimiter string, and join together an iterable of values. And which values? These values are created by the map function. Okay, and here we convert each list element to a string using the str Python built-in function. Okay, so we pass the built-in function, and this built-in function is applied to each element in our original list, which is a tuple. Okay, so we convert the tuple to a string using our map function. We convert all tuples to string values. So then we have, instead of having three tuples, we now have three strings, and now we can join them together. So the join function expects that you have that you pass an iterable of strings, and then it simply glues together the strings using this delimiter string, on which you call the join function as the delimiter. Okay, so if you print this, you obtain the following output. Like here you have the tuple representation converted by the default string function, and then you have a minus minus as a delimiter. Okay, so now this can lead to, so now you have another customized representation of your list of tuples. And so for example, what happens if you don't use the map function? So say you simply try together to join the elements in the list function. Does this work? So if you execute this, you see it results in an error. It's a type error because it expects a string instance, but it found a tuple. Okay, so why does this happen? Okay, because here we have a list of tuples, and you cannot join together tuples. So it's the join function is not smart enough to perform the automatic string function to each element before trying to join it together. I mean, it could actually, as a Python coder, you could have as a developer of the Python library, they could have implemented it, but for some reason they decided not to. And I cannot really tell why, because I think it would be a good thing to actually use the default string conversion method. Sometimes, so maybe they probably, so in Python, if you run import this, you get the Zen of Python, and here they write explicit is better than implicit. Okay, so probably they don't want to use this implicit conversion method, because then you as a coder, you don't know exactly what happens and you get an output. So it's often better if the code throws an error message so that you can fix it, than to do something and you don't know actually what under the hood what they are performing, and maybe they do the wrong thing, but then there's no error message, so you never realize it. So it's often better if you have a quick error that you can fix than to have no error message, but you still have the error. Okay, so probably this was the thought process of the developers. Okay, So, but anyways, this is a good way of using a delimiter string. You can also use like a new line character, for example, as a delimiter string, which means that now, so if we run this again, now you get the tuples here in ordered in a new line. Okay, so but what happens if you want to remove these brackets and also the commas? So say you want to just separate them by a single white space. And to do this, basically you can change the function here. So you, instead of having the default string conversion method that is applied to each list element, to each tuple, you can create your own. So you can have a lambda function x, that, or say t for tuple. So it takes a tuple, and now how does the tuple, what do you do with the tuple? Say we convert the first value of the tuple to a string, then we use a white space, and then we convert the second tuple value to a string. Okay, and then we concatenate everything using the plus, the default string concatenation operation. Okay, and now if we run this, we get the following output. Yeah, so instead of having this tuple representation, we now have this tuple representation, which is more concise, so it looks more like a matrix, for example. So this way you can customize the output of your code. Okay, so still using the join function and on the result of the map function, so on the map object, which is an iterable itself, and then yeah, so defining your custom lambda function. So this is very powerful, this combination. There you can do anything basically you want. Okay, so then the third method is also you can use the join method. So for example, if you want to simply flatten the list, then you can use list comprehension. So this is your expression string x, and then you do for each tuple in your list, for each element in your tuple. So it's like a nested for loop in your list comprehension statement. This is your expression. This defines the elements on which you want to apply the expression. So, and yeah, so you go over all tuples in your list and all elements in your tuple, and the element is called x, and now you can do something with x. You simply convert x to a string, because x is now an integer. So this is an integer value here, and now you can convert to a string. Put everything into the join. You even don't need the list. You can even get rid of this list because this is just a generator expression. It also works. So a generator expression would create an iterable also. So you can also iterate over generator, but it wouldn't generate it at runtime, so in advance. So it will just generate it as it goes over the list. So it's a bit more efficient. Okay, so and then you use all these, so this iterable to join together all elements. So you have an iterable of strings, and you join them together and print it. So you can print it, for example, with say a minus delimiter, and if we are doing it, you see this is the result. Okay, so we have basically the flattened list, and yeah, just as delimiter we use the simple minus. Okay, so these were three different ways to basically print a list of tuple values. If you like the video, then yeah, give it a like and subscribe to our Thingster YouTube channel, and see you in the next video. Bye.